Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's K-Gibbs F1 here, and it's certainly been a while. We're back with some former Xbox Season 7 highlights now, and with F1 2017 just 2 weeks away, we still have plenty of league action and league highlights to throw your way and for me to commentate over. So quite frankly, I'll be working harder and faster than Kermit the Frog does on that typewriter in the internet's favourite GIF. So, as we go on board with us now in Singapore qualifying, we cross the line in the wet conditions no less to go a provisional P9, which becomes P12 once everyone finishes their qualifying laps on the same row as Drastic Midget. And ultimately, I would say at this point usually, free choice of tyres to start on the race. But of course, everybody gets a free choice on tyres, given that it is indeed intermediate tyres used for those fastest qualifying laps. So, top half, or at least the first page of the timesheet, is a decent effort for us. And in a race where strategy doesn't really play much of a role, as you can see, it's an easy one-stop soft to super soft, or super soft to soft, depending on what way round you prefer to play it. We're going to go for yellow marked first, then on to the red marked super soft tyre. But of course, Singapore is a race of attrition, so can we keep it out of the walls? That is the question. We're about to find out as we get away. And as you can see, Drastic Midget on our right, Perez up ahead of us. Both get away a little better than we do, but we're going to go conservative into turn 1 nonetheless, because there's always a bit of a pinch, and feeling the pinch is Casey Legend, who exits stage left there as you saw in the manner, and Drastic Midget has pinched us to the curb now, and that has given Drastic Devil the opportunity to swoop around the outside of us. He'll have the inside for turn 5, and that is all she wrote as far as the battle goes for P11. So Drastic Devil, very opportunistic stuff there, has got the place from us, and we're going to try and snap straight back at him as we head up through Raffles Boulevard now into the braking zone for turn 7. I've broken about 50 metres too early, and Casey Legend needs no second invitation. He goes and gobbles up P12. Hats off to Casey there, very solid move indeed, and yeah, just absolutely sold us an excellent move around the outside. So we've dropped down a place from our starting position down in P13, which is a little disappointing, but nonetheless we battle on and heading towards the heart of lap 1 now. Casey's having a move on Drastic Devil. Devil has to turn out of the corner at turn 12 because Casey had parked himself on the apex. Pretty good block pass there from Casey, who moves up another place, and he is certainly on a charge. But Drastic Devil, not one to back down, has gone and slid straight up the inside of the Force India there. No messing around. Wants to make sure he can snap back at Casey as soon as possible, but the Force India still got the move covered. And so that's Drastic Devil having to settle back into line into P12. We were hoping to take advantage of a slightly compromised line through 16 and 17, but we couldn't on that occasion, so we tuck in behind Drastic Devil for P13 now. And as you can see, there's a Renault up ahead of us who has lagged out, so we've overtaken him. And on lap 2, Drastic Devil has removed himself from the equation as he clipped the inside wall at turn 18. Very, very easily done that, and he becomes one of a list of drivers in former Xbox's past to find their Singapore Grand Prix ends in that particular barrier, as we get it all crossed up on the way out of turn 5. And here comes Melanie, who had a dismal Saturday on the basis he had a quali ban, but he's on his way back through the field now on an absolute charge. We didn't really put up much of a fight to the McLaren man because he was quite obviously going to pass us at some stage in this one, so we may as well get it out of the way nice and early on, and then we can focus on our own race. And fortunately Mel has towed us up to the back of a rather tasty battle up ahead for what will be point scoring honours, as TSRL Bottas has come into a bit of grief. Bit of front wing damage has held Drastic Midget up, held Melanie up, and brought us right back into the equation. So Melanie goes wide. We didn't really want to pass the McLaren man, but we may have a go now as we've got the inside for turn 1. However, as you can see just about now, I do think better of it. And we tuck back in behind the McLaren again. There's just no point wasting time battling the guy who is quite clearly faster than us, and if he can hold up Drastic Midget when he's trying to make the move, that could bring us into play with a Williams man who is honestly a bit more of a race, a bit more of a match for our pace at least, and that is definitely someone who will probably be racing with for the remainder of this 31 lap event, as Melanie gets the job done on Drastic Midget much like he did to us a lap earlier. And just as I predicted, that's brought us right onto the back of Drastic Midget's gearbox. So as we head now through turn 8 into turn 9, very, very difficult to make any moves here. It's very much a single track line through here, and so we can't make a move through there with looking all over the back of this Williams trying to somehow manoeuvre our way past, but it's just so difficult through these corners. We may have a chance on the braking zone into turn 12 as we head over the Anderson Bridge. Drastic Midget makes a little contact with the wall with his inside line there, to no avail on this occasion. We still sit behind him in what is P11, but we do have DRS on lap 5. Are we going to be close enough? We're certainly closing, but that Williams has some tremendous straight line speed, and with Elusive Kev closing as well, we cannot get the job done. And Kev closing is rather significant. He is on the super soft compound of tyre, and so we do not want to have him all over the back of us, because he will be faster at this point in the race, but we just cannot get past Drastic Midget at the minute, which is seriously compromising our afternoon here. And Elusive Kev, just as I said a few moments ago, what we didn't want to have is him all over our gearbox, and that is exactly what has happened here. So we're up to P10 after you saw a few moments ago. I believe that was a Force India who'd hit the wall there, so that's someone out anyway. And as you see, Drastic Midget has got a little bit out of shape through 12. He's gone a little bit wide, and we could be close enough on the way into turn 13 to make a move. He defends the inside. We go to the outside. We've got a wheel alongside him. We've been pushed into the wall by Drastic Midget. Hand out of the cockpit from the Williams man, but we had absolutely nowhere to go there. We were up alongside and ultimately found ourselves in the barriers with front wing damage as well to match, and that is a disaster for our afternoon. Lap 5, and that has seriously compromised our race, and Drastic Midgets for that matter. And after all of that, we are still behind the Williams. Elusive Kev, the big beneficiary there, he picks up 2 places as while we were both scrambling around in the barriers. And so that is a disaster. We don't pit at the end of lap 12 though, because the damage doesn't feel too bad for the majority of the lap. It's only really the final 2 corners where it really costs us. But as you can see, Drastic Midget is probably walking a little more wounded than we are. Just to say that, I hit the wall again myself. Fortunately, no damage done on this occasion. But is Drastic Midget going to pit? Is he going to stay out? No, he's going to stay out, and that is seriously compromising us, because look at this. Here comes PT in the manor, and he has made that move. And here comes Sam Ham as well. He's not hanging about. He's gone down our inside as well, and that is 2 places lost in the space of about 200 yards, as PT and Sam Ham have taken us there. And they're going to be all over the back of Drastic Midget, you'd imagine, as well, in just a few moments' time, with both of us struggling with damage after our little collision earlier. And we at DRS service, but we are not about to make a move on anybody at this rate. And as you can see, by lap 8, they've pulled away, but Drastic Midget is getting mugged just as we were a couple of laps previous. Sam Ham making the move, Drastic Midget having to turn out of the corner at turn 2, and that is going to give us an opportunity maybe into turn 5, but no, we can't get the job done. Drastic Midget getting excellent traction off of the corner, and PT has hit the barriers there, so he's out of the equation. It's now a 3-way battle for P10, and this is all over just 1 point at the moment. So it just shows you the competitiveness of Formula Xbox. Everybody scrambling for as many points as they can get, and all of us desperate to try and score that final point. As you can see, Sinan now coming onto the back of us. He's made a pit stop, and on those super soft tyres, those fresh super soft tyres, he is surely going to cruise past us. He's come out of absolutely nowhere, and he's got a run on me. I'm coming into turn 10 now, and that is job done from Sinan. That's the move sorted, and here he's up into P12. We're back down to P13, where we seem to have been glued to for the majority of this race, regardless of all the shenanigans that have happened. And as you can see now, Sinan quickly dispatches Drastic Midget, who is now down in P12 and in our sights once again. And he's soon going to be out of our sights, because he's actually clipped the inside wall over the Anderson Bridge and exited to the right there. And so that's us up into P12, and that is Drastic Midget, who has proved such a potent force in defence, out of the equation now. And so we are up a place, and at least out of the fierce battle that we were having. So lap 14 now, we're still on those soft tyres, still struggling with that front wing damage, and so it'll be interesting to see where we can go from here, or at least it would have been until we hit the barriers. So that's another DNF for us this season, in this season 7, which has been characterised by woeful performances. And as I stalk back to the garage, angry at my own misjudgment and inability to finish a race, that is all she wrote here in Singapore. So as I mentioned, another DNF. Plenty of interesting scraps in that race though, with Drastic Midget, with Drastic Devil at the start as well, and with Casey sending us a great move around the outside on that one. So plenty of entertainment. I hope you enjoyed anyway this return to Formula Xbox League highlights. As I mentioned, there will be videos thick and fast over the next 2 weeks, because I realise I've got an absolute massive back catalogue of videos and content which needs to go out, of course, before F1 2017 comes out, because I imagine even with Formula Xbox Season 7 finishing the day after F1 2017 comes out, the majority of you will absolutely lose interest in this game and this series once the new game comes out. And I don't blame you for that. So we'll make sure we get loads of videos into your sub boxes over the next couple of weeks. And until next time, when Formula Xbox will be in Japan for what will be, I can guarantee, a much longer video because it's a much longer race. I shall see you very soon. Goodbye.